Imagine you're looking for your dream pair of shoes. You spend countless hours scrolling through websites, comparing prices, and you notice that the average cost is about $80. You don't have $80, but you would kill to have those shoes. Then a miracle happens. A retailer is selling a pair that looks just like the model for $30. You put them in your cart as fast as lightning. Fast fashion counts on its audience not having the money for the real deal. I'm not innocent myself. Every blue moon, I find myself on popular fast fashion websites when I'm looking for a specific piece, and there's no shame in that. What's important is minimizing your use of these places. Now you might be thinking, why is that so? Well, the truth is, it does serious damage to the environment. Today, I'm going to tell you about how fast fashion is environmentally unjust, as well as the impact it has on landfills, our air and water supply, and the workers themselves. First, we must have a clear understanding of what is defined as environmentally unjust. Environmental justice is defined by the United States Environmental Protection Agency as the fair treatment and meaningful involvement of all people, regardless of race, color, national origin, or income, with respect to the development, implementation, and enforcement of environmental laws, regulations, and policies. 2018. While the United States abides by this, the same laws are not applied in developing countries. This makes it easy for places like China, India, and Vietnam, the biggest countries for fast fashion, to market their products. The United States' more is more mentality is enabled by these countries that sell products for extremely low costs. Meanwhile, the consumerism is keeping these economies afloat. The cycle is simple, but it has dire consequences, beginning with the overflow of landfills. Fast fashion is known for using cheap materials in their items, so of course the clothes don't stand the test of time. Then they're thrown away into the local landfill and take up more space than if we spent the extra money on good items for our closets. This is the shift that needs to be made. An article by Dr. Luz Claudio, a certified environmental health scientist, states in her research that, with the rise in production in the fashion industry, demand for man-made fibers, especially polyester, has nearly doubled in the last 15 years, according to figures from the Technical Textile Markets in 2007. With this demand comes a lot of waste. A graph by the United States Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, shows that the textiles account for 8% of all solid waste kept in landfills. If you take 8% of the total municipal solid waste, MSW, it comes out to about 11,168,000 tons of clothes. The EPA also estimated that 16.9 million tons of textiles were produced in the year 2017. Putting this mathematically, 11.168 million tons out of 16.99 million tons comes out to 0.66%. Then, subtracting the estimated amount of clothing recycled in that year, which is 13.6 when referring to the same article. This means that we are throwing away over half, 52.4%, of all the clothes we purchase. Simply put, there are too many clothes being produced to be able to sustain our landfills. All these clothes have to be made somehow, which brings me to my second point about the resources used to make textiles. Referring back to my previous speech, I talked about the process of making clothes from cotton and synthetic fiber and why they're popular, but now I can speak about how dangerous they are. Because of the demand on fabric in the ever-growing industry, companies are using hazardous chemicals in order to lower the cost of production. In polyester, while the fabric itself is hypoallergenic, it is made from petroleum and it is extremely taxing on energy sources, including water and oil. Not only that, but regular dyes that are soluble in water aren't able to color polyester, and those can irritate skin. Forbes is one of the most present platforms in reporting entrepreneurial capitalism. They said this about the production of polyester. Nearly 70 million barrels of oil are used each year to make the world's polyester fiber, which is now the most commonly used fiber in our clothing, but it takes more than 200 years to decompose. 2015. Polyester is definitely flawed, but cotton isn't innocent either. Cotton requires a lot of irrigated water in order to grow. The Water Footprint Network, a collaborative platform for companies and organizations looking to find ways to use water wisely, has provided research which I will convert into the imperial system. They say that the global average water footprint of cotton fabric is 2,642 gallons per pound. That means that one cotton shirt of half a pound costs about 660 gallons. The article also says that between the years of 1996 and 2005, when fast fashion was increasing in popularity, global cotton production contributed 3% to the total water footprint of crop production in the world, 2019. We've learned that, not surprisingly, it takes a lot of resources to uphold the high demand of fast fashion. For my final point, I will tell you about the dangers these materials put millions of people in every year. Cotton, while natural, uses hazardous pesticides that not only pollute the air and water, but it also kills farmers and workers in the industry. In the same article by Dr. Luz Claudio, it says that the manufacture of polyester and other synthetic fibers is an energy intensive process requiring large amounts of crude oil and releasing emissions, including volatile organic compounds, particulate matter, and acid gases such as hydrogen chloride, all of which can cause or aggravate respiratory disease. Along with this, an article posted by a college student at IE School of Global and Public Affairs supports this with the following statement. Farmers inhale these pesticides, get them on their skin, and put them into their environment, which affects their drinking water, soil, and air quality. Several cases of birth defects have arisen in children born in agrarian communities that use these chemicals. As for the farmers spraying the pesticides, cases of cancer, schizophrenia, and depression have appeared. With recent popularity in secondhand shopping, fast fashion has taken a hit. One of the biggest names in the business, Forever 21, has declared bankruptcy. But these small changes are nowhere near enough to completely stop the economic giant that is fast fashion. Sadly, it's the only thing keeping some countries afloat. What we need to do to help the environment is be mindful of where our clothes come from, even if it means spending extra money. With that being said, fast fashion does not follow the United States' standard of being environmentally just. It is a pollutant of our land, water, and air, while also being unfair to the workers who have to suffer through these conditions. Thank you.